Sponsored by Mike Johnson's Hickory Toyota.
Hello and welcome to the 40th season of Football Friday Night. And yes, we are back on Friday after Hurricane Ian. I'm Nate Wimberly, joined by Brandon Hamilton. We have reached week 8, and after tonight, only 3 weeks left in the regular season.
Nate, that's crazy to think, but the playoffs are on the horizon, and first we need to decide those conference champs, and some big games tonight will help clear some of that up. South Point at Kings Mountain, East Davidson at Salisbury, and Porter Ridge at Weddington are all battles for first place in their respective conferences, and we have highlights of all of those games.
Yeah, but we start tonight with Lake Norman at Hickory Ridge. Lake Norman, it came into this one 6-0, but they got ambushed tonight in Harrisburg. Didn't help their cause on the first play of the game as they coughed it up. Vincent Tudors comes away with the recovery deep in Lake Norman territory, and it was over from there, folks. A few plays later, Vincent Griffin punches it in for the 7-0 lead. Next time the Ridge touches the ball, they scored again. Caden Haywood to a wide open Christian Hamilton, and when I say wide open, I mean
let's see.
wide open.
Yeah, wide open.
And after a score like that, the North Carolina commit had to turn around and ask, man, do y'all know who I am? Bulls up 14-0 as that touchdown had them jumping in the stands. Next time the Ridge touched the ball, they scored again. Almost looks like the same play, but there's a different receiver this time on the business end of this one. Jalen Harris with the touchdown grab. This time, they strike a pose. It was 21-0 at this point. Eventually, the Ridge went up 28-0 before the Wildcats finally got on the board. Coach Jonathan Oliphant wondering, what's going on, guys? Finally, the Lake gets a touchdown as the power just keeps moving. But the early hole that they dug was too much to climb out of. Big win for Coach Jupiter Wilson's team as Hickory Ridge won 55-10 to give Lake Norman their first loss of the season.
All right, West MECK hosting North MECK. We start this one up. North MECK has a 23-0 lead in the start the second half. Here's West MECK quarterback. That's Javon Deckel. He'll roll out and is sacked by linebacker DeMorris Jenkins. Big play. All right, quarterback Cameron Kimball. He'll walk up, slips out of the sack and scrambles. That's a big gain. Can he make it down to the 1 yard line? All right, here's running back DeMarco Williams. He'll punch it in for a touchdown. West MECK will trail though 8-23. That's in the third. Okay, so West MECK trying to score again, but late. You said it right. Whoops! You got to hold on to the ball, young fella, and that's recovered by the Vikings. West MECK quarterback Kimball Walkup. He'll attempt the deep pass down the field. You know when you hold on that long, yeah, that's picked. Samuel Napier, North MECK wins this one 23-14.
Porter Ridge at Weddington. Porter Ridge, a tough task tonight on the road, trying to topple 5-1 Weddington. Late in the second quarter, with the Warriors up 17-3, Knox Willingham to Evan Gilbert for the touchdown. Weddington up 21. Next possession for the Pirates. The ball sails straight into the hands of Thomas Davis Jr., and Jr. is going to stroll in for the pick six. Warriors up big. Now to the third quarter, the Weddington D continues to come up big as the smothering coverage right here denies the touchdown pass. Then on the ensuing fourth down for Porter Ridge, the pocket just collapses on the quarterback, and that's a sack. Weddington wins this one big, 31-3. Time to take our first break here on the show. When we come back, the Football Friday Night game of the week. South Point at Kings Mountain, a battle for first place in the Big South Conference.
Force you to help pay off student loans for doctors and lawyers, even couples making up to $250,000 a year. For you, Beasley backs tax hikes on working families. She wants an army of IRS agents auditing the middle class.
And Coach Jupiter called him out. He put them all in a huddle. He was like, look.
Stop celebrating.
Y'all do this one more time. You're going to find out. I'm going to give you something to celebrate.
See y'all later.
Have a good one.
See you tomorrow. Cam, can you hear?
I cannot, no. I can hear y'all. I cannot hear anyone trying to talk to me right now.
He says she can hear us. He can hear us.
Did I grab the wrong? Oh, I'm on the wrong IFB. Shoot, I'm sorry, guys. I'm on Weather 1. I'm sorry, guys. I grabbed the wrong one. That's on me. I'm sorry, guys.
You know what
I got you now. Sorry. Yeah, I'm all kind of flustered. Grab the wrong IFB. Everything goes off the rails. Cool. Ugh.
The 2023 Toyota Camry, always a step ahead. Lease a new 2023 Toyota Camry LE for $309 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places.
WBTV News is on your side. Join us weeknights from 4 to 6:30.
It's bow time. Nope, you're not seeing double. Right now, you can get 2 thick, hearty steak biscuits for $4, only at Bojangles. And a deal that good is enough to make anyone dizzy. It's bow time.
Share the memories that last a lifetime at the Cleveland County Fair in Shelby.
Looking for something exotic, grand, or glittering? Rug & Home is your brand for luxury. The choices are enormous and authenticity has zero limitations. We're the road to inspiration and a hub for modern style.
I'm Sherry Beasley, and I approve this message.
The medication I take every day helps keep me going, but the cost stops me in my tracks. Congressman Ted Budd had a chance to help seniors like me, but he pocketed tens of thousands of dollars from the drug companies, voted against allowing Medicare to negotiate lower prices, and against capping out-of-pocket costs. He called those reforms backwards. To me, Ted Budd is what's backwards about Washington.
We as parents or grandparents or other people who work with our children should be getting their vaccines and getting their boosters if they haven't done that yet.
Those boosters really matter. As many people, especially older people, their immune system forgets a little bit faster, and so these boosters are good reminders to the immune system of who the enemy is, so you're ready for it if you run across that virus.
Stay up to date on your COVID-19 vaccine. Find out when you're due for your booster. Visit myspot.nc.gov.
First Alert Weather App is sponsored by Subaru South Boulevard and Subaru Concord.
Time now for the football Friday night game of the week, South Point at Kings Mountain.
Yeah, it's the battle for first place in the Big South Conference. Now, Cam Gaskins was at this one, and he joins us live with the highlights.
Yeah, guys, the winner of this game controls their destiny to a Big South Conference title and also gets to keep their perfect season alive. Let's get to the highlights. Kings Mountain comes into this one with 3 shutouts on defense through 6 games, facing the Red Raiders of South Point, leading the Big South Conference in offense. But it would be the Mountaineers finding the end zone first here. Already up 3-0, Caleb Holland with the carry, caps off an 80-yard drive, now a 10-0 lead. South Point responds, though, in the final minutes of the third quarter. Cam Medlock pounds one in. A missed extra point makes it 10-6. On to the fourth quarter now. Kings Mountain facing a 4th and 1. Great time to dial up the deep ball. Why not? Lamont Littlejohn with a dime to Zay Smith. 40 yards makes it 17-6. Mountaineers add on their very next drive. Robert Kendrick takes the outside handoff and just gets inside the pylon. My little buddy Jackson here is pumped up after that one. South Point trying to make things interesting. Patrick Blee throwing up a fade. His brother Jackson Blee hauls it in. Now a 24-12 ball game. But Kings Mountain avoids the drama. 4 touchdowns tonight, all from different players. A.J. Richardson from 1 yard out, and that would put this one out of reach. Let's go to the football Friday night scoreboard. The Mountaineers stay unbeaten. They hand the Red Raiders their first loss of the season, 31-20, the final tonight.
Hey, that's a big win right there for Kings Mountain, but South Point is not done yet. I mean, there's still a lot of season left to play.
I got a pretty good feeling we're going to see both of these teams make they're not going to just be a one and done in the playoffs in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And we're going to talk a little 3A football real quickly. Northwest Cabarrus, they're looking good. They're still undefeated. You still have South Point's going to be there. East Lincoln's still undefeated. They're playing well, and Crest is just hovering around. The 3A playoffs is, once again, just like I said, they're going to be great. There are going to be some tight games there in West Charlotte because they play in that split conference in the Queen City with made that mistake. Chambers and Huff, but West Charlotte's going to be strong as well. So 3A football is going to be a tough battle, but Kings Mountain still has to play Crest at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So the conference title is not wrapped up yet.
And that's what Coach Greg Lloyd was telling me earlier today. It's like, hey, winning this would be great. You want to stay undefeated. You want to win every game. Yeah. But the season isn't over for either team tonight, win or lose, because we saw Kings Mountain gave up 21 points their last 5 games combined. South Point was able to put up 20 on them tonight. you know, they made that game a lot closer than it could have been when they could have easily given up as that game got out of reach. So, I mean, two great teams right there that we'll see them a little bit later on this season, I have to imagine.
We've reached halftime here on Football Friday Night, but so much left to be seen here on the show. For the second half of the show, jump over to WBTV.com and these other streaming platforms to catch the second half. We'll see you in a few minutes for the exciting conclusion of Football Friday Night. After a quick halftime adjustment, unlike the Carolina Panthers offense, here we go with the second half of Football Friday. You like that little deal?
I like that.
We head up to Morganton for our next set of highlights.
Yeah, with South Caldwell at Freedom, both teams are 0-1 in conference play, so a must-win for both if they hope to keep those playoff hopes alive. Steve Oneswords was at this one and it has the highlights.
Both the Freedom Patriots and the South Caldwell Spartans desperately needed a conference win tonight. Maybe it was the almost full moon, or the fact it was Freedom's homecoming. Whatever it was, first quarter was a tough go. But check out this run by Freedom's B.G. Hampton. Tough to bring down. All for naught, though. Freedom misses a short field goal. But here's a gift from the Spartans. The snap gets away. Just fall on it. Who has it? Freedom does. It's a TD. The Spartans strike back quickly. This run by Silas Scruggs ties it up, much to the delight of the South Caldwell faithful. But the Spartans made another mistake. Freedom breaks through, blocks a punt. They'll take over just outside the 30. 3 plays later, Jalen Barnett flies into the end zone, and the Patriots are back on top.
Touchdown,
The Freedom defense then puts the hammer down. South could do nothing. Oh yeah, homecoming. There's Halen Wisnett. She's the queen.
Freedom High School.
Second half now, Freedom cruising with a 30-7 lead, but South keeps fighting, moving the ball well, just not getting points. Late in the third, they finally broke through. Could they make a comeback? Well, no. This long TD run by Jalen Barnett, out of the way, coach, sealed this one. The Spartans did put up an oh, by the way TD and a nice 2-pointer, but Freedom wins this game big, 37-21. At Freedom High School, Steve Onosorge for Football Friday night.
East Davidson at Salisbury. Winner takes over first place in the Central Carolina 2A Conference. Salisbury led this one 21-0 when we got to the game. Salisbury quarterback Mike Jeter with the run. He gets down to the 1-yard line. But a critical play here, 4th down. Looks like Jeter gets in, but they say he is stopped short. East Davidson pinned on their 1-yard line. They barely avoided a safety right here. Salisbury has some great defense right there. Here we go again. Jeter hits Nature Smith, who picks up a 1st down. Then it's going to be Jamaica Wells. Takes it in for the touchdown. Salisbury up 35-0. Salisbury student section has a lot to cheer about, and it's going to be Jeter. He hits Deuce Walker for the touchdown. All Hornets in this one as they won 56-7. They are in first place.
All right, Central Quebec, the Vikings at East Rowan, the Mustangs here. All right, the Captains at the middle of the field, so this should be a good one. All right, East Rowan, the Mustangs, they'll get it first, and they'll strike quickly. Quarterback Gavin Walker hits Cole Eagle with this long pass, and the Mustangs will take that one to the house. They'll lead 7-0. All right, Central Quebec, quarterback Caden Klein, he'll hit Michael Forney with the screen pass. That's a nice run after the catch, but they couldn't score and would have to punt on this drive. Okay, East Rowan can't move it either. This punt is blocked by the Vikings, Tylee Barnett.
There's 5 guys there to block that one.
The Vikings will have it at the Mustang 9-yard line. Can they convert? Here's Caden Klein. He'll hit Reiki Washington over the middle.
Grab.
That is a touchdown.
Nice
Give
grab.
it to him. Vikings trail 7-6. Second quarter, East Rowan, the Mustangs force a punt. 4th and about 25. They fake it.
The punter said, "You ain't blocking this one. I'm going to take it to the house."
And he got the touchdown. They lead 14-6. Central will go on to win this one 36-24.
Great play there. Cuthbertson at Marvin Ridge, a battle of 2 and 4 squads. Cuthbertson with the ball right here is going to be Reese Morgan. Down the sideline, but it's picked off right there by Jackson Gibbs, and he gets on his horse. He's going down the sideline, but he's not going to make it to the end zone, but a great play right there. A few plays later, Evan Metters converts on the opportunity as he finds Mark Arthur in stride, and that puts the Mavericks up 7-0. Next possession, Cuthbertson looking to punt it away, but Christian Lapina does his best to Kimbe Mutombo impression. Get that out of here. Marvin Ridge recovers in great field position. A couple of plays later, little end around action right there, and Marvin Ridge is going to get in for the touchdown. Big win tonight for Marvin Ridge as they won 44-0.
Ooh, that is a big one. All right, Barry Cardinals taking on the Olympic Trojans. The Olympic quarterback Elijah Holmes after this, they're on the field. He'll roll out and complete the pass as wide receiver Sterling Green down to the 1-yard line. All right, next play, Holmes. He'll sneak it in, say, "I got it." That is a touchdown. Olympic takes a 7-0
touchdown Trojans.
First quarter lead. All right, then ensuing kickoff. Here's Barry returning Xavier Preston. A little shake and bake. Can he get it? Can he get it? Oh! No! Oh! Get off me! Oh no!
The kicker couldn't bring him down. And what is 3 doing? He's just like, yo!
Get off me! Get off me! That is a touchdown. Barry still trails though 6-7. All right, here's Olympic running back Devin Walker. He gets the handoff and runs it outside in the end zone. That is a walk-in for him. Touchdown. Barry leads this one 14-6. First quarter. All right, Jada Kiss Fields completes the pass. Wide receiver Xavier Preston. That is down to the 1. And so when you throw the pass, you might as well keep it, right? He'll keep it himself, push the pile, and that is the end zone. Barry down 14-28. That's in the second, and those cheerleaders, yeah, they got something to be happy about. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, you said it right, Nate.
Six, like, oh, no.
Tavares Boone picks it up. That's a Trojan touchdown. Olympic wins this one 63-14.
West Charlotte versus Hough. Technically a home game for West, but they played it at Hough. Second quarter action, Tad Hudson to Jacob Ducey. He gets the touchdown right here. Great catch in the back of the end zone. Extra point makes it 10-0 Hough. Still in the second quarter, J.T. Smith gonna take the handoff, and he's gonna plow his way through the line, and he has the end zone in sight. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? No, down on the 2-yard line, but hey, he got you down there. Why not let J.T. Smith finish off the drive? And he does. 24-0 Hough. Easy win tonight for the Huskies as they won 41-0.
All right, let's skip on over to Gastonia tonight for Hunter Huzz and Forest View. First quarter action here as the players take the field. This next play, quarterback David Howard, you know, if you're a quarterback, you can keep yourself right. He keeps it for himself, breaks through the line, and that's going to be a nice game there.
Face pass.
You know, Forest View would end up missing a field goal attempt, so the game remains scoreless, and the fans, the band, got to have some music to dance, right? Okay, so later on, there's another try for the Jags, but Howard keeps it again. He is going to get dragged down just before he breaks free. They got something cooking, but okay, let's see if they can convert. Okay, so next play, Howard, shotgun move, keeps it himself again. They say third time the charm, and I guess it was for that one. That is a score, 6-0 lead. Huss will end up winning this game 12-7.
All right, guys, time to head south of the border for a key Region 3 4A battle between Catawba Ridge and York. York lost to Indian Land last week, and if they wanted to stay in the chase for a region title, tonight was a must-win. Then here come the Copperheads out of their black tunnel, and they were on the hunt from the beginning. First quarter, Tyler Ficus drops back, and you see the little streak at the bottom of your screen? Well, that little streak is named Sheldon Crawford, running the post, and he runs that ball into the end zone after the catch. Later on in the first, the Copperhead defense would strike. Aiden Davis, the York quarterback, trying to make something happen. But he gets stripped. And that's a scoop and score for Catawba Ridge. After falling down 17, the Cougars would try to claw their way back in. Some trickery. Tristan Barnett taking the ball. It's a nice throw.
Nice catch.
Even better catch, though, by his teammate Akivi Mason. That would set up the Cougars' first score. Check out Davis finishing this run. Lowering the shoulder for a quarterback. Truck stick, baby, but Catawba Ridge has a good run of themselves. That's Tyler Jones. Look at the block from Jackson Berger. Takes out the ref.
That's a good block when you can knock down the ref.
Doing some overtime there. 24-7 now. The score less than a minute to play. The Cougars think they can set up a little screen pass, but it bounces off the receiver's hands. Ira Mister takes it back for the score. And that would send off the fireworks there. This one, same story, different chapter in the second half as the Copperheads would continue to pile it on. They moved to 7-0 with a 59-21 win, clobbering the Cougars.
We have to take our final break here on the show, but when we come back, the play of the week, and we put a wrap on Week 8.
She may not feel it yet, but she's got this. You've kept up with all the changes, the added safety measures. You've even read every email the school sent all summer long. Well, most of them. But you've also watched WBTV News this morning to stay on top of it all. And you got her here. And now, she sees it. Thanks for always being on her side and for trusting us to be on yours.
Where you get your local news matters.
The vote was unanimous.
Gastonia Police telling me today.
Got a cold front on the way. Every night, WBTV News at 11 brings you the top stories of the day and what's ahead, helping you make sense of the headlines, giving you the insight and understanding you need to make the best decisions for your family. Our deep community connections and relationships with local leaders bring more to the stories that impact you. Join us for a better understanding. Watch WBTV News at 11.
WBTV's First Alert Radar Network now has exclusive live X-band radar data. No one else in town has this kind of technology or this clear of a view. 10 times the resolution of the standard radars that are shooting into the Charlotte metro area. Our new radar is going to allow us to drill down into your neighborhood, your street, and give you as much advance notice as we can possibly give. I think this new radar fits right in with our first alert promise, giving you advance notice of changing weather.
All right, play of the week comes in the Olympic Barry game. Barry returning Xavier Preston takes, watch this, he'll take the kickoff, and when you run it, you want to make people miss. And he did just that, and he found the perfect crease. Get off of me.
Okay, number 3 is going to have some issues with Coach on Monday. 3 from Olympic is going to have some issues with Coach on Monday.
The shoulder pads did not work, and my dog said, yeah, I'm going to take this touchdown bag. Again, Xavier Preston.
The lady's just trying to eat her sandwich. She doesn't know what's going on.
That, again, is our play of the week.
All right, let's take a look at some scores from tonight. We don't talk a lot about private school football, but we will tonight. Congratulations to Coach Tad Balcom and Hickory Grove as they went up to Raleigh and beat Christian. The Lions off to their best start ever at 7-0. Congratulations, Coach. They have another road game next week. We're going to come out there and see you, Coach. Don't worry. I've known Coach for a long time. We're going to be out at Hickory Grove very soon. Also up in Raleigh tonight, Charlotte Latin handed Ravenscroft their first loss of the season, 29-16. I was about to come out here and talk about give praises to the Ravenscroft Ravens. But Latin went up there and showed that Charlotte still has the power. The Hawks are now 4-2. It's going to be a dogfight between Latin Christian and Providence Day for that Division I state championship. And I'm not sure how everything's going to work out, but Hickory Grove might be in Division I as well because their record is so good. Even though they're a smaller school, they may end up in there with them. So that will be an outstanding bracket, but we'll see about that. Back to the public school side of things. Morrisville beats South Iredell. And with Lake Norman losing tonight to Hickory Ridge, the Blue Devils are in sole possession of first place in the Greater Metro 4 Conference. The schedule sets up nicely for Mooresville to win the title. They got winless West Cabarrus next week. Then they take on A.L. Brown, who beat West Cabarrus tonight. And then the rivalry game in the final week of the regular season against Lake Norman. But congratulations to Coach Joe Nixon's squad. They control their own destiny when it comes to winning the conference title. East Gaston with an easy win tonight over Bessemer City, the final score of the night. Warriors are 5-2, 3-0 in Southern Piedmont Conference play. But how real are the Warriors? We're going to find out these next 2 weeks. They have Burns at home next week, and then they have Shelby on the road the next week. And then that final week of the regular season, Burns and Shelby will meet in Lawndale. So that conference title will be settled in these final weeks of this regular season. So that's it for this week. Some impressions. You know, what stands out to you?
Well, you talked about how tough of a test it's going to be to have Burns and Shelby. I mean, we just know this season the boys out in Cleveland County don't play. So Kings Mountain, we had them as our game of the week earlier when they were taking on Burns early in the season. And it's just been the same thing. They're so consistent, and balance is the other thing. They scored 4 touchdowns, all from different players tonight. They can run it. They can throw it. Lamont Littlejohn is a very impressive quarterback. And that defense, Coach Greg Lord was telling me today, their defensive line, not big, not the biggest, but they're quick. They can fill gaps, and they're disciplined. And when you're facing a triple option veer offense like South Point, they did not miss a single gap assignment. They did not let any big runs get lopped off on them. It's hard to find a weakness in that team. I know 3A is kind of stacked, but Kings Mountain is going to be right in that conversation with any of those teams.
Yeah. Well, I said, Nate, we talked about it when we were reading in the beginning. It's like, wait, week 8, like this season, the season is flying by, like Cam, like you mentioned. So now at this point, you kind of know who your team is.
The picture's starting to solidify a little bit more, especially when teams are starting to cross play. So we know that this win might mean a little bit more because this team went on to do well, and we have a little bit more context to frame these teams around right now.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, we know who they are now. Everybody knows who everybody is, and that's the beautiful thing about it now. As we get ready to wrap up this regular season and decide conference champs, then we hit those playoffs, and at that point it's 0-0, and one bad night, you might as well roll out the orange ball because it's basketball season. So, I mean, there are some teams still right now jockeying to try and get into the playoffs. Tonight was a big night. Some teams that didn't have any conference wins, maybe won one tonight. Maybe they can stack 2. And if you get a third one that next week, you're in the, you're not going to have a good seed in the playoffs probably, but you're going to be in. And as long as you're in,
you got a chance.
You got a shot.
You got a chance.
As long as you're in the tournament, as they always call it, the tournament in the NFL. I don't want to keep calling it tournament. It's the playoffs, but as long as you make the tournament, you got a chance to win. So tonight was a big night for a lot of schools. That Freedom South Caldwell game. By the way, I got to go back. The first running back in that highlight.
That's it. I told Nate, I said, it's like Jerome Bettis. Like a good one. Like Jerome Bettis, powerful, fast speed. I would look like, wait, that's.
Yeah, they got some size out there, Freedom. So, a big win for Freedom as they try to put themselves in a position to make the playoffs. They were winless in the conference. They have one now. So it's all about putting yourself in a position to make the postseason. So things are starting to shape up, and next week's going to be a big week. Next Friday night, we got Charlotte Catholic and Butler. Wow. And that's going to be a big one in that Southwestern 4A conference. So a lot of good football still left to come, and we'll be right here next week with highlights on Football Friday night. And that's it for Week 8. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Carolina Panthers.
49ers.
Catching some strays tonight, man. Catching some strays.
I don't want to have to come out here and talk about halftime adjustments again. I don't want to do that to y'all. So
but Nate, they're close though. They're close. Every week they're close.
Don't start. Don't start with me, Matt Rule. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next Friday.
Let's go, Baker.
On Football Friday night.